To this very unique, special, one of its kind, the only one of its kind episode. We are joined today by, many of you guys know everyone here in this panel that we have because you've been on our podcast. And our podcast, we did an interview with Sally Williams from Mission Meow not too long ago. She is back with us for this very special event. And then many of you guys know, because several times Karen and Meredith from the ACC have come on and done special short readings for your kitties, the animal communicators. I would love it. We welcome you all because this is a very special event. I would love it if we could start by each one of you guys giving a short intro for any of those that are joining for the first time and don't know who you are. Just a short intro of each one of you guys. Sally, let's start with you.
So my name is Sally Williams, and I am Marlin's mom. I'm also the founder and director of a nonprofit called Mission Meow, and we are making meaningful change in the cat community. And I just launched something else, a Facebook group called Rescuing the Rescuers.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you guys that aren't familiar, probably everybody is, but Marlin is like basically a famous cat, right? Like, so everybody knew Marlin. Everybody followed Marlin. He was a superhero.
Okay. He's a superhero. Yeah.
Cancer fighter. And unfortunately lost the battle in 2020. He was, it is Sally's soul kitty. And I'm going to cry.
I know.
Oh, I know. You can see him right there. Look at, with the surrounded with his two studios.
Yes. So Sally's going to have a reading with these two beautiful friends and colleagues, Karen and Meredith. Karen, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I am Karen Dendy-Smith, and I am the founder and one of the directors of the Animal Communication Collective. And Meredith and I came together and created this amazing organization. And thank you, Adrian and Jay, for trusting us to join you and do so many amazing events and talk to kitties for people. But our main goal is, through the collective, we have over 30 professional communicators, all women, who've all come together to volunteer their time. 100% of their time is volunteer, and we all come together. And we get together and we help amazing organizations just like Mission Meow. And our next one is for Sally, which is why we're excited to talk to Marlin tonight, where we have these great online events where people buy tickets and raffle tickets, and we spend 90 minutes helping people connect with their animals and picking people from the audience intuitively. And our goal is really to help raise awareness with rescues and shelters and give animals a voice. And so we are so thrilled to be here today. I also have a background in Chinese energy medicine. So a lot of the information that comes through for me, you may find, if you guys have seen me before, has the animal or the cats and the animals will share with me how they're feeling, so that information can be brought forward to mom and dad to bring to a vet and to get some help if a little critter needs a help. But we are just so excited to be here, and I'm going to pass it to Meredith to introduce herself. Oh, and I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. Because Meredith likes me to tell where I am.
I like it because I am in Tupelo, Mississippi, and look, Sally's in one place and Adrian and Jay are another. I love that we can do this work scattered all over the country and really all over the world. We actually have international members in the Animal Communication Collective. So it's just wonderful for us all to be able to come together with this incredible technology that we have to do these events that we do. So yes, I'm Meredith Dees Tollison. I, along with Karen, am a director of the Animal Communication Collective. We met as friends and colleagues when we were training in our animal communication, and felt very called to take it to another step and be able to help more people and connect with more animals. I have a background. I'm a business person, an entrepreneur. I own and run several businesses, but I also am an animal Reiki practitioner. And my background, yay, Sally. I'm also a certified dog trainer, and I focus on behavior issues. So what's amazing is you'll see as we're doing these readings, a lot of the, the energy medicine kind of stuff Karen picks up on, and a lot of the behavior kind of stuff I pick up on. It's pretty amazing how the animals bring the messages to us. But we're super excited to be here. We love working with Adrian and Jay. We're thrilled to have met and gotten to know Sally, and we're looking forward to our upcoming event to raise money for Mission Meow. Tonight, we're here this afternoon, depending on where you are. We're here to connect with Marlin, Sally's soul cat, and we're super excited to be able to do this for you guys today.
Oh, we love you guys so much. It's going to be a little bit different for us because we're actually going to
take our energy away.
Take us. We're going to be here the whole time, probably with a few tissues as well. Laura Lee, the dedicated feline enthusiast, is here, and so I already have tears and chills.
Hi, Laura Lee.
And Darby said I was blessed with the reading a couple weeks ago. So grateful. So I think this is so incredible. Marlin has done so much to bring so many people together. Today is going to be a really special day. And I kind of like that he's helping us kick off this next event that we're all going to be able to do together. So without further ado,
goodbye.
We'll see you guys.
Off-screen button, they have not taken their energy away. They are here. What amazing people.
Yes.
Love them for bringing this all together.
All
right, Karen.
Okay, so for everybody's experience, so that you know, when we do a longer reading like this, we really involve the human. So Sally, we're going to ask you to just take a breath with us. Get yourself a little grounded. As we all connect together as one heart, we're asking everyone who's watching to please hold this space with lots of love for Sally and Marlin and raise the vibration of this reading. As all of our hearts stump together, we call Marlin in to preside over this reading now, to take over what we'll be sharing with you, Sally. Okay. You got something, Meredith? You go first.
Well, yeah, I just want to start by saying we've heard Sally talk about Marlin, but we don't know really details about your time together. We know that Marlin's a celebrity. We know that Marlin's got his own Instagram, and people who recognize you because they recognize Marlin. So he clearly was out there touching lots and lots of people. But this will be, the next little while will be the time where we really get to know Marlin, and we really get to know Marlin and what he works with you on, both in his life and in spirit. And I'll tell you this is funny to me because this does not happen to me. I've been working professionally as an animal communicator for quite a few years, and I'm really, really good at setting those boundaries with the animals and their energy. I set my intention. I ask them to come in when it's time to do the reading, but all day long, it's like Marlin's been knocking on my door, and I'm like, no, Marlin, not now, not yet, Marlin. Yeah. And here's the thing that makes me laugh. He's coming in like this crazy big, it's like an Easter bunny, the big costumes where the head's this huge and the eye holes are actually like in the bunny's mouth, and his pink, he's got these big teeth, and then got this big foam finger, like at football games.
He's a big personality.
He's a big personality, and he keeps showing himself to me as those costumes are larger than people, right? Those fingers are larger than people. He's like, I am both A, larger than cat, and B, way larger than people. But there's a lot of joy in the way that he's showing this to me. He's a little bit of a clown, it feels like to me. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, huge personality. Yeah.
So to support Meredith is saying, I did a little meditation before we got on this reading with you, and he was so powerful and so big and so excited to be here. And even before, and I said, okay, Marlin, if you want me to say this, you need to bring it back again. And he did. And he's making me laugh because he's quite a character in his personality. And the way that he came in, his first thing he said, you tell Mom, I'm all right. He's going to worry about me. And he's bringing it to me like he's the gopher in that movie.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. And he wants you to know he's still got his full sense of humor, and he's still running the show.
Done that. He totally would have.
Yeah. So he's singing that song, and he came in singing that song while I was meditating, and he wanted me to start this out with you with a little bit of a laugh.
Good.
So I'm going to add one thing to that. The big foam finger thing, like rabid football fans, there was way back 100 years ago when they were doing all those Bud Light commercials. Here's to you, Mr. And they'd fill in the blank there. There was one that was, here's to you, Mr. Foam Finger Maker. And then the background music was Mr. Foam Finger Maker. And what I'm hearing with that is how brilliant that ad campaign was, because it was so silly. Yeah. And that he has a specific appreciation for people and for people, mainly artists, who do things differently, a little bit out of the box. And he's bringing me Weird Al Yankovic. I think Weird Al is a genius.
Oh, that's so funny.
An absolute genius. But he's like, how smart do you have to be to make something that brilliant from existing work? So he's showing me a little bit of spoof, a little bit of parody, but in a very, very smart, intelligent way. He's a goofball, but a very, very smart goofball.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's showing me a picture of himself. I know he's in spirit right now, but he's showing me a picture of himself propped up on a couch. Like a guy would kind of sit back with his belly hanging out while he's watching the sports game. He's leaning back with full legs sticking out.
What we did together.
Belly. Oh, okay. So he's showing me like
that's how the page initially started. Before he had cancer, was just a place to share this beautiful belly, because he would jump up on the couch and he would just lean back like a person, kind of hanging out, and we would watch sports together.
So he's showing me that he wants you to know this is how good he feels now. Like he's showing a bit of his personality from when he was in the body, but so that you know that he's really here.
Aww.
Yeah, he's so awesome.
Belly rubs.
He's also being a total boy for me. Like, big guy sitting on the couch drinking beer. And he's showing me that he thinks bodily functions are actually really funny. Like a teenage kid would.
Yeah. I mean, I remember him sitting on the couch once, and he let a little gas out, and he was like, he didn't know what it was. He just looked down in total surprise. And yeah, totally.
Oh my goodness.
Well, okay, good. Because I don't know where that was coming from. And I usually don't try and talk about things like that, but it's funny.
So I feel like for me, I don't know what he's saying to you, Meredith, but for me, he wants to talk about how he's doing right now. He knows you want to know. How is he doing now?
First question I had. Top of the list.
All right. So let's just ask Marlin, what do you want to share with Sally about how you're doing right now in spirit? So he's showing it to me like a beautiful sky, and there's this huge rainbow in the sky. And not because of crossing the rainbow bridge, not because of that saying, but because he wants you to know that he feels and has a sense of everything that is around him. And it brings him such joy to be so connected to all of the different vibrations that he now freely is a part of. And it's a very expansive feeling that he's showing me. He says he needs to be a part of all of this because he's holding so much space for you, as he's wanting the feeling of his own expansion for you to take that in, because you are also expanding. And so this energy of expansion is what he's holding for you.
So I have a really beautiful experience happening right now. Karen, I have Maria. We have a friend and colleague who passed not terribly long ago, and she sometimes shows up in our readings, like she's just holding space for us. And she just kind of showed up and went, yeah, look at this. So I see her. She flies in. She's got her arms spread way out, and she flies in. Wee, wee, and she swoops down, and it's like a little touch from a. Have you ever had a hummingbird fly super close to you, and you hear it and you feel it, and in the split second it takes you to realize what's going on, you're like, oh my God, that's amazing, and it's gone.
Yeah.
So this little flitting in next to you, I see him like swooping in. Wee, here I am. Hey mom. He's checking in on you all the time. And in that split second when you're like, it's gone. And there's a little bit of a clowning in this as well. He wants to show you his love, wants to show you his support, but he's also like, peekaboo, and I'm gone, and I'm gone, and I'm gone. But he's coming back every single time. Do you ever feel him like a hummingbird in your ear?
Yeah, like a vibration, or just a like a moment. And I you have those moments where you doubt that. Is that really, or am I just wishing that that's what it is?
No, it's real. And he's like, and mom, I sit right here on your head sometimes. And he says, you feel like this tickly pressure right here on the back of your head.
He used to sit right here. Right here. I have pictures of him like coming through my hair and being right there, this chair.
Yep. So it's like right here is what he's saying. I'm still right here for you.
So I'm kind of adding to that question, Sally, with what you just said. You feel the signs, you feel like he's there, but you doubt it. So I just quickly ask the question, how will Sally know that it's you? That's
one of my questions.
Yeah. How do you tell Sally to trust that these are actually signs from you? And I know that you're also a Reiki practitioner. A lot of times when I begin practicing Reiki, I picture like this funnel where the energy comes in through my crown chakra. And as Kieran was saying, feeling him behind your head, and you were talking about your chair, I literally felt this like open up. And I can feel the vibration and the tingling on the top of my head, like it does when I'm really setting my intention to receive the energy to begin a Reiki session. So I feel that this is important for you.
Okay.
And he also says, you're so concerned about disappointing his memory. And he says, you can't. He says, Mom,
make me cry.
He said, you can't disappoint me. You cannot disappoint me. And two, he says he wants you to know that you're working too hard. And he's playing that song. A lot of times animals will use this song to get a point across to people if it makes sense to them. You know that Simon and Garfunkel song, Slow Down, You Move Too Fast? You got to make the morning last.
Yep.
Looking for love and feeling groovy. He's like, I want you to slow down. You move too fast. Make your mornings last.
Okay.
He says you need it for your own health. And he shows me like he wants you to take some breaths because he says you're knotted up in your upper, like, I don't know if it's the gallbladder, pancreas area, but there's something going on, too much pressure, under pressure. And he's also making the song under pressure. And he wants you to he wants you to open up this area of your body more and let shit go. Oh, I just said that on. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to cut back my language, but he's kind of feisty. So he's like, let shit go. Does this make sense to you?
But at the same time,
especially the music to communicate is interesting to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I get a ton of music. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just one lyric. Karen does too. It's awesome. But at the same time, while he's shaking his finger at you and saying, "Mom, slow down. You're doing too much. You move too fast." I see him in full military regalia, parading around like the pomp and circumstance. Like it's a parade ground, and he's got all these medals. And they're going bing, bing, like sparkling in the sunlight. So I'm asking, okay, what are you trying to show me with all these medals? And he's like, this is pride. This is recognition for hard work. And he wants you to know that that's how he sees you, that he's very proud and that you deserve all of the medals, all of the medals. But then he's like, yeah, go sit down on the bleachers and have a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
We're through stiff walking. We're through stiff walking. Show everybody and then sit down and relax for a second.
And he also said, you can't mess this up. We made this deal before I came.
Mm.
We made this deal to work together in this way so that you would be so deeply impacted by my love for you that you would continue on in my honor. And he's showing it to me like, you guys literally made this deal before either of you came into body in this particular life. But he says, we have been trying to save people and lives for more than this lifetime.
This is the second time I've been told this.
Yeah. He says, we've had other lives where we were trying to save people and lives. And there's something about actually you guys fighting to save horses.
What is that? That is the second time I've told that. And I loved horses, sure, but it's so strange that this is now the second time I've been told that we've been tried in our past. We tried to save horses.
Yep. Horses out on the plain and stopping people from burning down. Okay, I'm getting this like it's like a rush coming in, like a movie scene of sometime in the 1800s where you're trying to protect horses from land that was being burned and taking away their land, and the two of you were trying to save horses.
This is the second time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the message I'm hearing as Karen is saying that is, don't be surprised by anything. There is a possibility you could look up and be like, oh, here we go back into horses again. What he's telling me is, you didn't really think you were going to do everything that you've done. It was an experience that sucked a lot in the process that inspired you to take a lot of the steps that you've taken. Being with him, supporting him through his illness, all of those things were never things that you asked for or that you wanted. And obviously you were grieving and struggling and doing everything that you could for him. That was part of his work with you, because if not for going through that illness together and you supporting him and him supporting you, you wouldn't be sitting where you're sitting right now.
I know.
So that was a surprise. That was not, I don't think that was something that you, like a 6-year-old kid, were like, you know what I'm going to do when I grow up. That's a guidance that he had for you to take you into where you are now. And don't be surprised. Both he and your animals that you live with now will continue to guide you into the next steps of your process, of your growth, of your development as well. Does that make sense to you, Sally?
More than you know.
Yeah. And he says, tell Dad I love him.
Aw.
He just wanted to get that in too. Tell Dad I love him, he said.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I never wanted this to happen to Marlin. However, I can't take it back, because what happened to us and that relationship that we had, we wouldn't have had without that. So you don't want the cancer, but what happened in that time frame, how do you not want that bond that deepened that love? And I had been told that I never wanted this, but this was always going to be this way. We had been through things before, and this was what was going to happen this time. That was Marlin's journey.
Yes.
And if anyone else in your life had said, Sally, you know what I think you should do, you wouldn't have heard it the same way.
No.
You heard it from Marlin.
Would never know.
And more than heard it, you knew it from Marlin. He was the only messenger who could have led you to where you are right now.
It's interesting because I founded the Brody Fund because I had another cat with cancer, but I don't think I could have continued. And then I also needed to end it. Everything was along with him.
He's been a little funny again. He's like, I'm a catalyst. To lighten the mood a little bit. He's like, but I'm a catalyst. I signed up to be a catalyst.
He feels like he has a really huge vocabulary. Like if he were sitting having a conversation with you, he would be dropping those $5 words left and right. And then kind of like, do you know what that means? Oh, of course you do. But if you didn't, I'd be happy to explain that to you. He's a little bit of a smart ass too. Yeah.
Always larger than life.
It's interesting. He says, because of who you are and how hard you work to try to save him, the people that you reached out to help work with him and his health when he was sick, he said he also, and this is interesting that he's showing this to me because this is something we all should think about with our animals. Our animals come into our lives to teach us lessons and to touch our hearts, but they also know that by coming into particular people's lives, the extended people they're going to meet are also part of the package deal. And so he's telling me there are one or two health professionals that you worked with where he really, really impacted them around how to work with his cancer. And it kind of arrested their thinking in a way and made them have to think a little differently. Does that make sense?
Very much so.
He says that was really, and I'm getting chills now. He's like, that was also really important, which is why his ailment was bigger than just you and him.
I get that, and I see this swooping again, this wee, and he's touching the vets, and he's touching the nutritionist, and he's touching all the, he's got his paws literally on multiple, and is bringing strengths together that can, I see him, he's actually showing me in the litter box, you know, how they'll scoop all into one corner. And he's showing me taking these paws and scooping things together. And then
that's his way of
bringing it all together and handing it to you and going, what are you going to pick from this pile? This, I've brought everyone together, start, and then everything will fall into this bowl that he's making with his little paws.
And he's kind of pointing at us too, Meredith. He's saying, now you guys are in it too. Like he's saying, you guys don't get out, you guys aren't getting away from this unscathed. Like you're now in it too. You're part of my, like, you need to help. So it's really cool the way he is the catalyst for bringing so many people together.
Yeah. So many.
Yeah.
And his celebrity.
You know, not
his
me.
Celebrity too, you know? He's like, I look, people know, people love, they really like me. Who is that? Sally Field? You like me. You really like me. And he's like,
one of my questions was, does he know that impact, how big it was? Like, I had people who would come up to me. I'd be at a cat convention to do my thing, and someone would tap me and be like, are you Marlin's mom? Nothing could have made me prouder.
Yeah, he's very proud because, you know, when a cat is very happy and they kind of do this with the tail and they swish it and they're very confident and the tail's like on its top, it's kind of going like this. Like he's showing me he's agreeing with you by making his tail do that.
Well, his tail, perfect. And I don't know, maybe he did this on purpose. Always a perfect question mark.
Yeah, it looks like this.
To the other, it was so cool.
Yeah, he's doing that now.
About him.
He knows he's fabulous, but not for the sake of being fabulous. He feels like, you know, somebody, say a celebrity who's like, oh, here's a cause that I really, really care about. People will actually listen to me because they know who I am. Much more so than just me stepping up and saying, here's something I really care about. They're like, really? Because you're not, you know, name any celebrity who stood up for a cause. He's like, I was cute. I had this belly. My mama thought it would be fun to create an Instagram or whatever it is that you did. And now I'm changing the world by way of the people that I have touched in some way or other. And he really does truly feel like he's changing the world because he feels like you are changing the world one little kitty cat at a time.
It's all, I don't know if I would be doing what I'm doing now. And I told him, like, I'm doing this because you asked me to, because I stopped doing one thing. I took the break that I needed. And then it was like, all right, I'm ready now. You gotta be with me. You gotta show me some signs that you're on board with this.
And this is why he's saying, slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last, because he wants you to do this from a place of trusting that the universe and he, like your agreement with each other was a pact in the universe, and it will happen. And you don't have to work so hard to the point of exhausting yourself to make it happen. You have your eye on the prize, he says.
Today. I know. So
let yourself enjoy this and let the universe carry the time frame for you.
I'm hearing
tough one, Marlin. That's a big ask.
Yes, it is. That's why he's bringing it to you, because he knows that this can affect your health.
So I'm hearing the words, I'm seeing the words, and then I'm seeing one of those old-timey roadside signs at the gas station. It's the big flashing arrow and the slide in. Yeah. I get this imagery a lot when it's like, this is the word I want you to look at, the little slide in letters, and it says allow. Okay. Allow, Sally, allow. Don't force this. You're on the track. Allow it to happen the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
And Marlin's like, look at that arrow. Look right there. Look at that. Take a deep breath and see what's coming next.
He says you're going to walk right into the people you need to walk into. He's showing it to me like the more you allow, the more it's going to seem like somebody just showed up, but it's because you left the space open for them to be in front of you, for you to be present in a way where you're in the flow of aligning with more and more people, as opposed to working so hard to find and connect people. They are already there. And when you take a breath back, your energies, he's showing it like the rainbow when he first came in, your energies start to blend and harmonize. So there's a lot more harmony in this effort than there was when you were killing yourself with the Brody Fund. And he says, oh, and by the way, Brody agrees.
Aww.
Because Brody's standing there like this. I don't know what Brody's attitude used to be like, but he's kind of standing there like, next to Marlin. He's like, like that. I see the two of them in my head.
I have one final image that that feels important, connected to what Karen's saying, into that whole allow concept. And it's the waves of the ocean, rolling in, and then they retreat. And then the water comes in to fill the space that's opened from the waves that have retreated. So you got to allow that stepping back to allow the filling back up. And that feels very symbolic of exactly what you're saying, Karen. If you just open this space, the water will come back in and fill it. If you just open this space, the next step that you need will become obvious to you.
Okay.
So you have another question though, because he's like, tell her to ask the question. So what's the question?
I back to the signs. I feel like he's connected to West in some way, and I want him to let me know whether that is. I just feel like he gives signs to West that I am supposed to see, that there's somehow a connection. And I know that, Marlin passed after West was born, but somehow they seem connected to me.
So West is a cat in your house now? Male?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Meredith, how do we want to word this to Marlin?
Are we asking if Marlin is working with West for you? Is that what you want to know, Sally? Is he connected with West?
They're connected because there are things that I can't explain that West has done that I just feel like there's some divine connection between them.
Okay.
That things have happened that I can't explain unless West somehow, that they somehow
So, Marlin, what do you want to? What is important for us to know about your relationship with West, energetically, and while West is in physical 3D? Like, can you give us? I'm asking Marlin to give us some information around his connection to West.
So I don't know if you saw me holding my face. I'm feeling not pain, but discomfort, a little tension from my jaw to about here in the front of my mouth. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. What does that mean? And the response that I got was something having to do with just good basic maintenance medical care for West. Like whenever you feel that West needs, I don't know, a checkup, a vet visit, anything like that, that it's it feels like some sort of reminder. This is a little off topic of the question, but some sort of a reminder that you're way better at taking care of West than you are at taking care of yourself. And each time West might seem to have a little, oh, I have a little pain here. Oh, I have a little limp. You're like, okay, stop everything and let's take care of that. And showing you that you need to be more aware of that for yourself too.
Okay.
That was a quick download, and I felt compelled to share
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
So back to Marlin. You go ahead, Karen.
Very small. So he looks to me like he has wrapped his energy around West like a blanket. And so if you're he is not West, he did not reincarnate into West. He's still in spirit for your, so you know this.
That's what I got from this.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he has absolutely wrapped his energy around West. And there are times when he actually kind of uses West to get to you, like energetically merges a little bit with West to get to you so that you know that he's there. And he says there's an antic that West, there's a funny thing that West does that you're like, God, that's just like Marlin. And it's kind of, he's making me feel like I want to laugh when West does it. I feel like there's a little hop involved, but there's kind of like a silly movement involved where you're like, that is so Marlin. How could West know to do that? Does this make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
So he is showing me how he's moving through West sometimes to touch your heart.
So I'm getting a similar thing, and it's teeth again. But you know how when a cat sees a bird through the window and they start that little, that little chatter of the jaw, and then when they look like they're terrified, they push their tongue up against the roof of their mouth, which I believe is to help enhance like scent or something.
Yeah.
But it's
Like,
just
a
funny look when they're like,
that's stink face. Yeah.
yeah. And it's the word I'm hearing with that is notice. So I see West noticing a bird through a window or seeing something and doing that crazy face and then jumping like he's going to go get that bird, but jumping straight up in the air and straight back down. Like there's no trajectory, no forward motion. And it feels a little clumsy and uncoordinated and hilarious. Does West do anything like that?
He gets it's weird. I take him outside, but he gets a little funny when he's inside seeing things outside. He's not, I've not noticed a jump. He does this other thing. So it's funny if you kind of merge the two. So the blanket is somehow like, I get that this is not what it is. And I love that he's described like a blanket around him, because I keep putting this blanket in his perch and he always takes it between his teeth and he picks it up and he oddly gets to the edge of the tree and like flops down with this blanket. And then he waddles down the stairs. And I don't know that Marlin ever did that, but I'm always like, gosh darn, if Marlin could have done that, he would have. But with that body in a million years, he couldn't have done that. And West, when he first came into the home, I have pictures of his tail was always poker straight. Like he would sit and his tail would be like, I have pictures and everybody's like, his tail is like a stick. It doesn't do anything. And I'm like, oh God, I really miss. And I said this, I'm like, I really miss Marlin's tail. Like that question mark. From the next day on, his tail started doing that. So that's one of the things that I felt like somehow they connected in that.
Mhm.
And there's other things. I mean, but I just
And you're asking
unless they're
how to trust that Marlin's giving you a sign. Hello. I really miss that tail. There's that tail. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
They both have. So one of the things about Marlin, he had, so if this is your cat's paw and the claws are coming at here, and these are the pads down here underneath. Marlin had this weird little, I called it his nubbin. It's like it's whatever the claw is made up of, but it's not pointy. It's just flat. When I adopted West, I would trim his nails, everything, One day I'm doing this to his paws, same paw, same pad, a nubbin.
Yeah.
So these are the things that I was like, I can't explain unless they're connected, but unless it's just totally, but I felt like when you said like, it's like a blanket,
Yeah.
it makes real sense to me that it's like that. They're not, I never got the sense that Marlin came back to me,
No, but he wants to reiterate, he does use his energy. It kind of, he shows it to me like a visual blending.
That's
with West, so that he can get West to do things sometimes. So they kind of, West lets him share, is what he's saying. West lets me share. So
that's the feeling I get, but when you miss somebody, I miss him beyond words could ever explain.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to think that I'm imagining that this is happening because I want it so much.
Well, we didn't know that. So there's a great answer. So let's see if there any last question before we wrap up. Is there any last question you want us to ask Marlin?
Yeah. So in his last day, I feel like he so wanted to stay. Like here, he wanted to stay, but he couldn't. And I mean, I don't know that I'll ever know what happened, but am I right in thinking that, because some are just like, I'm ready to go now. I felt like he wasn't, but we just couldn't. And I tried everything, I certainly wasn't ready, but he just seemed like he still wanted to fight, but he just couldn't.
Okay, he just said, I had lessons to learn too. So even with his own passing, he was actually learning some lessons too about letting go. And I want to ask him more about that. So what were the lessons you were learning? Okay. Oh, go ahead, Meredith, and then I'll go.
You go ahead.
Understanding. There's something about learning, and it does impact you too. Understanding that sometimes letting one thing go so that the next, because there's something coming that's bigger and better, and that sometimes we hold on too hard to what we already know, even though we also know it's not the best thing for us. And he says it was, he's showing it to me like this, the last couple of hours before he passed, he could see, he became very aware of what he was supposed to be doing next. He could see, he got a comprehension about what was coming next, but he had to reconcile letting go of what he actually loved, which is he actually loved his body. There's part of him that really liked the cat body that he got this time. So it was kind of like, do I really have to let this go to do that? There was kind of like a few moments of like, can I do that? Stay, like, no. So just understanding that he was being told himself, he was being told, you did this enough. You gotta move on because this is next and this is big.
So very similar to that. the first thing I heard when you asked that question was him just kind of going, oh, gosh, but there's so much we're doing together. There's so much we can accomplish. He feels like he was very driven and very goal oriented. Like he saw that there was good work happening.
So he knew it. He knew it.
But then he shows it to me like a party where everybody's having so much fun that it's like, oh, I just want to stay. I don't want to go home. Like the last day of vacation or something. Oh, I just don't want to go home. But the realization that that's just because this moment was so enjoyable. And like you're saying, Karen, it feels like a little bit of a transition when he had a realization of, oh, wait, I can keep working on this with Sally without being in this condition, without feeling these things that I'm feeling with my illness. Oh, okay. We'll do that then. That'll be good.
Does that make sense to you, Sally?
Yeah, stinks, but it does.
I know. Yeah.
Can I ask I have one other, like,
Yes.
just, was there anything that he didn't get to do? We had a bucket list, and is there anything that he didn't get to do that I should know or I could do, or something that, I just feel like there was something that was left, that
I heard skydiving. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit of that clown going on. He's like, yeah, we did a lot. We could come up with 100,000 things that we would still like to do together.
Yeah.
But is there anything I regret having not done? No. Skydiving. Ha, 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 ha. Just kidding.
Yeah. And he's showing me like drinking tuna juice out of a martini glass.
In a smoking jacket.
But he's also just being funny. He's kind of like
Tuna teenies.
tuna
That
teenies.
whole Marlin Nation, there are so many things that I think I wasn't aware of that he knew,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you said like he knew how big it was. I mean, that he had this family all over the world. They named themselves Marlin Nation. We did not.
Oh.
I mean, I have tattoos on my body for him,
Mm-hmm.
What does that one say? I've seen it, but I haven't seen it.
Just love you to the moon and back.
Oh.
I always said to him, and his eyes were this beautiful green, so I gave it a green heart down at the end. I just always said, and it's so funny because my people always ask me, "Oh, did you do that for your mother?" I'm like, "No, my mother hated tattoos. This is for
This is for my cat.
I have 2 tattoos on my body for Marlin because I just, it makes me feel closer to him."
He says, never forget, we are entwined. We have been before and we will be again.
It's good that he's trying to tell me this because I don't know what I believe for next, so I want to believe that we will be together again, but it's something I grapple with.
Yep.
But
We all do. I think it's the human condition, isn't it?
Him sending me signs gives me hope.
Yeah.
So when something happens, it's like, okay, this is real.
Yep. All right. Well, let's thank Marlin for now, for touching everyone's hearts and giving us some beautiful messages. What an awesome guy. Thank him. Thank your soul. Thank everybody for coming and supporting you and holding space for you. Okay. So we're going to invite Adrian and Jay to come back.
Oof.
Perfect timing, ladies.
Adrian, crying?
All teary and snotty.
Jane.
Adrian forgot her tissues, so she grabbed her jacket. She's like, "This works." Wiping her face, blowing her nose on her jacket.
I didn't blow my nose, but geez, he got me there at the end.
So
Wow.
can I share with you why I asked the West question?
Yes.
So when I got my COVID vaccine, I was fine for, a couple hours. And then whammo, like just one of the worst, after experiences. I had 103 fever. I had a migraine. I had full blown vertigo. So I was literally bedridden, and my husband was downstairs with COVID. So he couldn't help me. I was literally helpless. And we have a bungalow with one room upstairs. I had run out of water. I couldn't get downstairs. I couldn't ask Scott to help me. I just couldn't do anything. I was in so much pain. I was full on chills, and I think close to feeling like, just completely out of it. And I was so scared, and I'm like, where are my cats? When that's the only ones that can be around me right now. Right. So in my head, I kept saying, Marlin, if you can hear me, send Wes to me. And I just, for like a good minute, please send Wes to me. Please send Wes to me. And I didn't know that Wes was in the room. I couldn't see him because he was in the top of a cat tree, and he's so skinny that he could fit behind like the lip. Like I couldn't see him. And I heard a trill, and then I could see this head pop up. And he jumped down out of the cat tree and came over. And here's the thing. He went to Marlin's spot. Wes never comes up and sleeps in the nook. That was saved for Marlin. And I think he respects that. He doesn't really go there. And he positioned himself in there and just laid and leaned into me. And that's when I thought, they're connected. I know they're connected now, because I didn't say anything out loud. It was just in my head, Marlin, please send him to me, because I was in so much pain. I couldn't stand. I couldn't walk. I could barely move. That was my comfort. And so I always wondered.
Well, I think he confirmed it for you today.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That trusting is always the hardest part for Karen with the human experience, like the trusting of like, was that really? And then there's the am I overly thinking like, oh, that was Tiggy? Or like for my soul cat Tiggy, like that must have been Tiggy. That must have been Tiggy. That must have been Tiggy. Am I overthinking this? Like over confirming it with myself, So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I always wonder. I mean, I had a rock painting here. We have a memorial rock garden out back, and I have painted rocks, and I invited people over. So I was setting the day up, and I went and turned on a little speaker so we'd have some nice music. And the first song that came on was Coldplay's Green Eyes. And I was like, I never heard that. I mean, I'm a Coldplay person. That's just not a song you hear often. And what was Marlin's one of his best features?
It's Green Eyes.
Yep.
Things like that happen, and I'm like, okay, all right,
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, you might as well just speak it out loud to somebody, because everybody else can confirm it. When it's like, that's clear. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
That was definitely Marlin in some way, shape, or form, for sure.
Well, I think I can't remember who said it, Karen or Meredith, just that our animals are sent to us. Like there's nothing accidental. However they come to us, there's intention, and they come to help teach us and grow with us and help us.
Our best teachers. If we let them, they are truly our best teachers. I mean, I adopted Marlin when I was not well, as a distraction and as to help me, a way of helping me heal. And then when he was sick, I realized this has come full circle.
And now he's still trying to take care of you and your health.
Yeah.
So I love that he called himself a catalyst. I mean, that's just so cool.
I love that he thinks he's number one with his big foam finger.
It was
so surprising. I mean, it was the way he was. That was his makeup. But the things that I did certainly would make a cat think they are the best thing in the world, because you could have seen, like, even now, so the carrier that I got him was enough to fit like 4 Marlins in there. It's the biggest thing you've ever seen. And it's like, it's soft-sided and it locks in, and then it comes with a flat bed stroller.
Was it big enough for one of the horses?
But that was how he made his way into the hospital. So imagine what you think. You think like,
I'm on a cheerleader.
I'm the prince. And, that was exactly the way he rolled in. And I remember somebody saying, oh, you need to walk him through the neighborhood and put a little sippy cup in there and have some wine in there. And you guys can just go through the neighborhood that way. But so, of course, he felt, he had a nation named after him.
Yep.
So, of course, he knew he was. He always knew he was number one with me, but of course, he had that sense that it was bigger than that, and he was larger than life. And you'll like this, Meredith, when you said he's like sassy and everything. I remember after one of his treatments, I came out and I always was like, how'd he do? And she was like, oh, he was feeling his oats today. She's like, and he was done. He smacked me right in the boobs. And I'm like,
Marlin.
that is so Marlin.
Yep.
She's like, he didn't hurt me. He just wanted to let me know, like, I'm done with this. Very sassy.
Well, how are we going to do this for others now that we've done this for you, Sally? The whole goal here, right, is to promote this so that we can, Marlin guiding us all. How are we doing this for others?
Yes. So for any of you guys that are joining us today, this is actually the first time on our page, at least, that you've done a full reading, that Karen and Meredith, and actually all of the ACC for this specific event will be hosting a Mission Meow fundraising event at the end of this month. So it'll be January 28th. It'll be a Saturday. It's in plenty of time for all of us and all of our schedules to still have night plans if we want to go out on Saturday night or stay home and
it's
have
Saturday night, young
Saturday night.
My bad. But all ticket donations, all raffle tickets, all VIP after party, which will be hosted by none other than the two of us. And you know how we like to just pour it back and drink some. If you buy a ticket, guys, every single penny is going to Mission Meow, which is Sally's beautiful organization working to make big change, meaningful change for cat non-centric nonprofits, small cat-centric nonprofits across the country. So we're so excited to be hosting this event with you, Sally, and with you.
I'm not waiting. It's going to be amazing.
So you can go on now and buy tickets early. Yes. I know this is maybe a new thing for people, but please buy your tickets early. We want this to fill up. It's for Saturday night with Mission Meow.
Link is in the description here, guys. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, link is in the description so you can click and get your tickets right now.
And I just want to say, I think for we've kind of been a part of some of these fundraisers with the ACC a couple times, and I am so excited. We support Mission Meow. Love what you are doing. You're just an incredible brainchild. I love being part of this very special moment with Marlin, and I think one of the things about being part of these kinds of events like this, we might think, oh, $25 for a ticket. I'm going to grab a couple of raffles, whatever. And I think a lot of people here would agree with me. We end up being far more moved than we can even feel like we're impacting. So it's going to be an amazing event. I love that you guys connect with various people throughout it's like a 90-minute event. And then we've got the raffle tickets for free readings and prize packages. It's going to be, so that's all before the after party.
So like to break it down, Karen, can you just break it down for us as far as like how the event goes?
Okay. So the first 90 minutes are going to be me, Meredith, and two other members of the Animal Communication Collective. We will be working in pairs. We'll be picking people from the audience to do mini readings, so 8 to 10 minute readings. So we'll try to get in as many as we can in those 90 minutes. We can't promise how many, but we usually hit between like 6 and 7 people at least, maybe more. And so we'll be doing live readings for the whole 90 minutes, and then we will move into the after party.
Are we doing the drawings? Are we doing the raffle drawings for the giveaways during the event, or is that the after party? That's the event, isn't it?
Yeah. So the raffles, so the 5 winners of the readings we'll announce those 5 winners, I believe, at the end of the main event. for the readings. So we'll be giving away 5 30-minute readings for free. And you'll be able to get a reading with one of us who has been running the event. And we'll schedule that with you privately. And then we'll move into the after party where there's even more fun and prizes.
Yes. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have drinks. We're just going to.
It's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night.
We're
We're
going to do them after all those meetings.
Oh, I'm telling you.
We're going to be giving away some prizes as well, guys. So you
Mm-hmm.
guys can enter to win. Some of those raffle tickets will be chosen to get a cat pack from us, where we, if you guys don't know, we just launched a full line of organic.
We have our cat pack here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Organic natural cat toys. That will be part of the giveaway. We're going to be giving away big prizes as well. So we're really excited for this event, and we hope that every one of you guys get tickets and join us.
And it really, it's such a special, I feel like, you know, this whole coming together, having a moment like this is an amazing thing for the community, and definitely for this event, for this fundraiser. I think it's going to be a powerful experience.
Yes.
Woo.
Wonderful.
Sally, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just want to say that anybody, you've got to, like Marlin Nation, people that love Mission Meow, don't miss this opportunity. This is not the first time that I've experienced, you know, as a behaviorist, I worked with communicators. After Marlin passed, I did. Just it's an incredible experience. So to have the opportunity to do this, I can't recommend it enough.
Yes, I
There's
agree.
a link in the description.
Link is in the description.
Go grab your
Yeah,
tickets.
if you guys can't wait and you're like, no, I need to talk to one of my animals right meow. Also, Karen and Meredith's links are both also in the description. And you guys can book a session with either one of them today if you need to. But do still sign up for this event because it's going to be absolutely amazing. And we're so excited. And we're so grateful for all of you guys to join us here on our page on a Monday. We love you guys. And you guys will be seeing a lot more of us. We'll be telling you more and more about the event.
We'll remind you, don't
We
worry.
will remind you. Yeah. So if you're already drinking, it's okay. We'll remind you later.
I just want to say thank you to all of you for making this possible. You know how much, I mean, I knew Jay and Adrian before, but Meredith, Karen, you know, like Marlin said, we're stuck together now.
That's
this
right.
is a forever connection.
Intertwined.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness. I love you.
Love everybody. Thank you all for coming.
And we love everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much for coming, and we will see you very soon. In fact, we will be on Instagram and TikTok tonight for a Q&A, so you guys can come join us there. We love you guys. Mwah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And bye, y'all.